All right, so we are in Cyberpunk with the RTX 5080. We're just going to see what we can do here. We've got it set to 1440. We'll do 1440, then we'll do 4K after that. And if you're new here, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And if you could just stay to the very end of the video, that would be amazing as well. Anything like that helps my channel out tremendously. So let's jump in here and go to just check out the settings here. So we got 1440. And then what I did here was I dropped it to the low preset, but then I switched it to DLSS Super Resolution Transformer Model, but we still are on DLAA, so no upscaling. Frame generation, of course, is off. Ray tracing is off, and everything else is still at that low preset. So we got a few mediums in here and stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty much just left alone other than DLAA. All right, so let's just see how this runs. Again, we are on a 5080. And we are, oops, I did not mean to do that. We're on a 5080, and we are just seeing how we can get this game to run with the lowest possible settings and, work our way up from there, because for the most part, this game is pretty intensive still. I just really wanted to see what this title could do with the 5080. So I'm going to get back in the car here. I tend to do a little bit better in the car. So let's just go over here and let's go just get some speed up, get some frames to kind of load in a little faster. So we're doing really well here. Of course, we are at the low preset at 1440, no ray tracing. So let's jump over here and just go to settings, and let's kick on a little bit of that next setting. So let's go to medium, drop this back down to that super resolution, and let's make sure that everything went up. This game is really weird about wanting to take over all your settings. So we are at essentially a medium preset right now, still with no frame gen and still with no DLSS, just DLAA, no upscaling, and medium. All right, so 159 FPS. So as you can see, we still got some room. We can push this card a little bit more. We've still got a lot of ways we can go here. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go over here and go to settings, graphics, and let's go to the high preset. Go back to DLSS. Make sure this is on DLAA still. And let's go down here. Everything is high. Everything's high. Yep, everything's good to go there. So just making sure that a lot of things didn't get switched around here. So we've got crowd density still medium, ray tracing is still off, DLAA, transformer model. Okay, yeah. So everything's essentially on a high preset at the moment. And we are at 109. So got a little bit of a hit there on our frame rate. Still really, really looking good though. I mean, 139 FPS is still fine. Yeah. All right, let me just run into this person real quick and get on this highway and come over here. All right, so with that high preset on 1440, let's see what we can do as far as some ray tracing goes, and that is what this game is really known for. So still at 1440. And let's turn on some ray tracing. Where is it here? Let's go down. There it is, ray tracing. All right, so we've turned on ray tracing. Everything is still on high here. And I just want to make sure that we are not doing anything. Let's turn that frame or that film grain off, depth of field off. None of these matter. I just don't like the way it looks. All right, crowd density. Path tracing is off, but right now we have ray tracing on with everything off in here. So I'm just going to do the ray tracing local shadows. The lighting, I'm going to set it to medium, and we're not going to do any path tracing. Actually, let's just go up to psycho here, and we're not going to do any path tracing. So this would just be the psycho setting of ray tracing with everything else maxed out as far as like just the regular settings go that we had before. So let's just see what kind of hit this gives us. We're down into 56 FPS, so still almost 60. I would be okay frame generating off of this because it's so close to 60, and even in some parts it is. Still got a lot of flat looking shadows and textures here, though. The road looks extremely flat still for some reason, so I'm getting shot at. That's okay. Let's just run away from it. And let's go over to this part and just see what we can do as far as more of these settings go. So we're still on DLAA, so I would like to probably drop that to quality, and that's going to give us a lot of that frame rate back and get us over 60, hopefully. I just really wish this person would not shoot at me. They know I'm trying to just do a test. I'm not really wanting to fight them right now. Oh my God. Oh, I'm still not good at this. All right. Oh, thank you for the help there, officer. All right, so we are at 111.97, and this is just DLSS quality with ray tracing. No path tracing yet. Oh my God, I'm really bad at driving in this game. All right. Come over here. At least you get to see some particle effects. All right, so here we go. Let's go to settings and come down here, and let's just see what our path tracing turned on will do for us. I'm assuming that it is going to really hit our frame rate pretty hard. Still over 60 though. That is quite nice. So quality, DLSS, 1440p, and we are at we're at over 60 FPS. So this is kind of nice here. All right, let's just keep going, kind of get away from all this chaos we got back there. All right, and let's go back into settings, and what can we do here? So we're still at quality. We could drop the, let's go here. Everything looks pretty good. What is these custom settings here? Ultra, ray tracing medium, ray tracing ultra, ray tracing overdrive. Let's go to the overdrive setting. This should take everything as far as like everything I've done so far to the max, just to make sure. And I'm still on quality DLSS, and that is about 65 FPS. So that's what we were experiencing before. So it looks like we kind of recreated this preset to some degree. All right, so this is 1440. This is kind of what you can expect. I'm going to drop off of 1440 and go straight to 4K next. So let's do that. All right, settings, video, and we're going to go to 4K. Just to confirm, we are at 4K. And let's go to graphics, and let's just keep things kind of how we had them to see direct comparison between switching from 4K to, or switching from 1440 to 4K. So still got quality DLSS, still got path tracing, all of our ray tracing, everything's still maxed out as high as it can go. So let's just check this out and see what it does, because we were a little over 60, and I can tell you we're not over 60 anymore. We're at 34 FPS, and I feel like the best thing to probably do at this stage would be to bring in some more DLSS, because we are at 4K now, so we can upscale from 1080p, which is the performance setting, and it should still look really, really good, because this is that latest Transformer model, and it looks fantastic compared to anything else. So let's just go to super resolution. Let's go to performance. Let's see what performance does whenever we are at 4K, and that is going to get us right back up there to almost 60. So that's cool. It's really nice. We are maxed out ray tracing, path tracing, with an almost 60 experience, 60 FPS experience. So really the best thing that I could probably say to do at this point is just frame generate off of this. I mean, this is plenty high for me. If you really wanted to get that 60, you could go down a little bit more to ultra performance, and it still looks great, even upscaled to 4K. And we're at 87 FPS. And of course, you can frame gen off of this and do just fine. Excuse my driving. I am trying to talk and drive with a keyboard. I'm not really used to driving with a keyboard. So 82, I just kind of want to see what all we can do as far as all these settings are concerned. Really, the very high, or very performant, like high performance, or whatever it's called, ultra performance, looks fine. I would play at this setting with this card, considering the next card up is a freaking 5090 or a 4090, really. So yeah, let's check that out. Let's keep going over here. Ultra performance, and then let's do some frame generation. Where is the frame generation on this menu? There it is, frame generation. the frame generation is on. And gosh, it just switches around so much. All right, so let's go over here. Ray tracing, overdrive, DLSS, super resolution. Super resolution, you can just set it to auto and it will do it for you, but let's just go to that ultra performance, and we've got frame generation turned on. All right, so keep going down here. Let's keep looking. Lens flare off. It turns all this crap back on. Contact shadows. Okay, everything else is maxed out. So this is like a 4K experience, totally maxed out using frame gen and DLSS ultra performance. So let's just see what this does. Setting will take effect after the game has been restarted. We'll see about that. If it doesn't look like it took, then I'll restart. It does actually look like it took just fine, but I'm going to restart and then we'll close this video out. So I'll close it out and come right back. All right, I've restarted and we're going to jump back into it just to make sure that these settings absolutely applied. All right, we were looking like, oh wow, yeah, it kind of shot up a good bit after we restarted. I just want to make sure everything has stayed the same. So we are definitely at 4K. Super resolution, ultra performance, 2x frame generation. All right, so it looks like it brought in the multi-frame generation option once we restarted, so that probably had a lot to do with that. So yeah, definitely restart. That is a big deal because we got a lot of performance back once we restarted, once I kicked on that frame gen. All right, so let's resume, and we're at 140 FPS. And let's just see what it looks like without the frame gen on, because I'm just curious. So if you do that, hit off. Oh my gosh, it wants me to restart again. Let's just see what that does. So this is without frame gen at 82 FPS. So once we restarted, it seems to have really improved versus just, because it didn't even ask me to restart. Once I restarted though, it looks like it gave us a lot of performance back. So definitely take that in consideration whenever you're looking at this game. Maybe get your settings right and then do a nice restart, and it should give you some of that performance back, which is cool. Anyway, let's go over here and let's just make sure that we are still fine. So it looks like we can bring this back up to performance potentially. Now that we've restarted, we're still at 70. We are in a lower resolution area here, not resolution, a lower populated area. So this is kind of an easier area for the game to run. So let's just come over here to maybe get into some of the city parts. Oh wow, we got some gang activity here. Let's just run through that. They're gonna shoot at me. All right, let's just keep going. So 60 FPS, everything completely maxed out, 4K performance DLSS. And you've got 60 FPS in a lot of the game. I just totally killed that guy. Let me run that person down. And yeah, so I would recommend playing at these settings here. This looks pretty good. Just to run through it one more time, we've got the super resolution transformer model set to performance. Ray tracing and path tracing are all the way up. Crowd density is all the way up. All this crap is turned off. I don't like it. Motion blur, you can actually turn that off too. I don't like that either. All right, so we've got contact shadows on, improved facial geometry on. Everything is completely maxed out other than the screen space reflections, which if we turn that on, it does say psycho, and that is going to drop us a little bit. I actually didn't even do too much. I guess that's in more intense settings, but you're still over 60 on performance DLSS. And this again is no frame generation. So yeah, we'll probably wrap it up. If you like this kind of content, just let me know down in the comments below. If you want to see anything else, I would be happy to try to make that happen for you. And of course, a sub is always appreciated. And if you like my videos, please go check them out. The watch time really helps my channel a lot with the algorithm. So the more you watch, the more I can get that exposure and potentially do even more videos in the future. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day. Thank you.